Okay, so today I want to talk to you about a subject very close to my heart. The 7 specific reasons why your Facebook ads aren't working right now. So maybe you're watching this when you've already tested Facebook ads and couldn't figure out why they didn't work for you. Maybe you've been too scared to even try Facebook ads first. So whatever your reason is for watching this video, I really hope that it demystifies Facebook for you and gives you what you need to make your ads successful. Now, the problem is the fact that if your Facebook ads haven't worked, then you've probably forgotten, missed, or overlooked one of the key things I'm going to be talking about in today's presentation. So, reason 1. Your Facebook funnel isn't profitable enough to give you the space to figure it out and test. Now, if you haven't already set yourself up for success by working out what your customer lifetime value is and establishing how much a customer is worth to you long term, then you're never going to know how much you can afford to spend on a client. So this could be down to a number of reasons. So you absolutely need to know what your customer is worth to you long term. And ideally you need to be able to spend 1/10 of that, or at most 1/5 of your customer lifetime value in order to acquire that client. And that's where I see so many people going wrong. Okay, so typically you'd expect to spend 10% to 20% on acquiring your new customer. Now that this means it's essential to be able to afford the advertising in the first place by charging enough for your services. And if you're not charging high enough prices, you're never going to be able to make Facebook ads profitable for you. And if you cannot afford to advertise for new clients, then you do not have a real business and it's going to fail long term. That is the simple reality. We must be able to afford to advertise for new clients by having our prices high enough and having a funnel that is delivering these clients to us affordably. So what can you add in to what you offer? Or how can you raise prices so that it will increase your customer lifetime value? Now, a typical Facebook funnel for a service-based business such as a coach or consultant will result in qualified leads on the telephone for between $50 and $150 each. But if you're not charging enough in the first place, then this figure is going to freak you out. Because during the testing phases, when you're getting good at selling on the telephone, when you're figuring out which interests work, you can see that you are setting yourself up for fail. So what can you do to increase your customer lifetime value? Because it's highly likely that to be able to afford Facebook advertising long term, you're going to need to increase that figure. So maybe you could increase the price of your services. So this is something that I work with coaches and consultants on doing regularly, helping them put their prices up by launching an online program, working with multiple clients. Could you maybe add on a recurring element to what you do? Perhaps a membership program. I've got many clients who've launched and added in membership programs to their services with recorded bits of training. Maybe as an upsell later on, some of your clients could join a mastermind. Maybe you could have a recurring subscription to just part of your services. So maybe a once a month session, for example, with you. Whatever you need to be able to add on so that you can increase the customer lifetime value. Maybe you haven't considered that you needed to create a funnel through Facebook in the first place. Instead, maybe you just thought you could use Facebook to copy what you saw somebody else online. Maybe sticking up an ad that looked a little bit like theirs. It worked for them. You can see lots of likes and comments and shares on the ad. You'll just try copying it. The problem is you didn't know about the background stuff. You didn't know what was going on. You didn't know how successful their particular ad was. And you certainly didn't understand what was going on in terms of their particular funnel as to how it was working for them. Maybe you've tried sticking up an ad on Facebook that said, click here to book in a call, then couldn't figure out why it wouldn't work for you. You've seen other people do it. Maybe you tried advertising a single blog or a single lead magnet or a single opt-in and then wondered why nobody booked as a result of what you put up. Or the leads that did come through were really poor quality and you thought, this is ridiculous, I'm giving up. Maybe you just got stuck in the complexity of it all once you looked at the Facebook interface and instead you did absolutely nothing. What we need instead is a funnel that takes prospects through a journey using Facebook, demonstrating our expertise and then gets them booking in with us for an appointment. Reason 3. You haven't established what problem you can once and for all truly solve for your clients. Now on Facebook, we cannot advertise just our life coaching services or business coaching services. People are not going to be attracted to that. This is not Google. People aren't going to go to Facebook and search for a business coach or search for a life coach. Instead, we must use Facebook to talk about the specific problem we can solve that will change their lives, change their businesses, change it once and for all. If you haven't figured this out, no one will be attracted to your ads. Or those that are going to be really poor quality leads, causing you to abandon your Facebook advertising, presuming that it really cannot work for you. Reason 4. You haven't thoroughly researched your target audience, how you're going to reach your ideal prospect on Facebook. One of the first steps I recommend for clients is a really detailed, thorough analysis of who your target clients follow on Facebook so that we can target them, so that we can get our ads in front of our perfect prospects. So do some research. Who are your competitors? Find their Facebook pages. Who are your prospects or current clients following on Facebook? What thought leaders do they follow? What coaches do they follow? What books do your clients read? See if they've got Facebook pages for those books. What TV programs do they watch? Now your ads will target people who have these specific interests. And ideally you need a list of between 20 and 100 different interests, and you would then test them. Test. That's the absolute key here. And eventually you'll find a handful, or maybe more if you're lucky, that really work well for you. However, that brings us then to the next step. Reason 5, maybe you're then picking too small an audience. So these same interests, once you've found them, if you keep advertising to the same interest time after time in a small single ad, then what will happen is your audience gets fed up of seeing your ads. Instead, the key is to find and put together these interests that do work into a big combined group. So if you have 10 interest groups of around about 50,000 people, 10 different groups, 50,000 people, that's a interest group combined of 500,000 people. That is the size group you will then need. That means you can advertise to them indefinitely. I've got a few of these, maybe 1 million to 2 million in multiple combined interest groups. That mean that I can just advertise to these same groups indefinitely. I no longer advertise to single interest once I've got this far. Now the 6th reason, maybe you're creating brand new ads every single time. If you keep creating new ads, then you won't get any traction. You won't get any likes, comments and shares, and the more of them you get, the more likes, the more comments, the more shares you get on your ad, the more it will get clicked on, the more the cost will go down, the higher the conversion rate, as in you'll get more sign-ups from that particular ad. So we need to instead Reuse the same ad repeatedly. Once you've found an ad that works, that's getting a lot of likes and clicks and shares, keep it running for longer. I've got around about 8 or 9 ads that I advertise pretty continually. Some of them have been running for months. And I advertise it continually to my large audiences to rotate them. Okay, so I've got these different ads running in rotational. And of course, I'm always testing new ones as well. So it might be that every now and then I get one of my ads that doesn't work as well. I need to pause it. Instead, I'll switch to one of my new ads that I've been testing. And of course, that new ad, I've been building up the likes and comments and shares on that. So the key is to keep reusing the same ad rather than constantly creating hundreds of new ones. And the final reason, you're giving up before it has a chance to work. It does take time to work. This is not an instant win. It takes time to test audiences, to test ad angles, to test ad images, to test the offer you're putting out there. Facebook's algorithm takes a while to figure out the type of person that will engage with your ads, so please do not give up too soon. Over time, Facebook gets better at spotting the type of person that engages with your ads, so the cost will come down. But if you give up too soon, you don't give it a chance. So a quick recap. Your funnel isn't profitable enough to give you the space to figure it out and test. You haven't created a proper funnel to lead people through to becoming clients in the first place. You haven't established what problem you can truly solve for your clients. You haven't researched your target audience. You're picking too small an audience. You're creating brand new ads every single time. And you're giving up before it's got a chance to work. Now, if you need help with any of this, I specialise in getting coaches and consultants advertising profitably on Facebook. If you need help figuring out your offer, figuring out how to raise your prices, launching an online course or an online program, or maybe working out how to find and then connect with your target audience on Facebook, then simply book an appointment with me and my team to discuss how I can help. Go to clairejarrett.com/appointment and we look forward to seeing how we can help. Bye for now.